Questions 1 through 10 on the 2017 Grade 10 AMC 10A. What is the value of this big long expression? Well, let's work with this here. This is 3, so that will be 2 times 3 plus 1, so that is 7. Then it would be 2 times 7 plus 1, which is 15. And then it would be 2 times 15 plus 1, which is 31. Then it would be 2 times 31 plus 1, which is 63. And then finally it would be 2 times 63 plus 1, which is 127. So number 1, the answer is C. Pablo buys popsicles for his friends. The store sells single popsicles for $1, 3 popsicle boxes for $2, and 5 popsicle boxes for $3. What is the greatest number of popsicles that Pablo can buy with $8? Well, the 8 can be broken up into $3, $3, and $2. This $3 one would give you 5 popsicles, and the $2 would give you 3 popsicles when you buy them in boxes. And this, therefore, is 13 popsicles. And that's the maximum. So number 2, the answer is D. Tamara has 3 rows of 2 6 feet by 2 feet flower beds in her garden. The beds are separated and also surrounded by 1 foot wide walkways, as shown in the diagram. What is the total area of the walkways in square feet? Okay, walkways. Now, first what we'll do is we'll figure out the area of the entire region and then subtract those 6 flower beds, I guess. So when you look at this, it looks like this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, right? So when you add up all those numbers, you get 10. So 10 is the distance from here to here. And then same thing, 1, 6 this time, 1, 6, 1. So that looks like that's 15. So the dimensions of that entire region is 10 by 15. So that is what we have to put in this calculation. And then subtract from that these 6 flower beds. Each flower bed has dimensions 6 by 2, and there's 6 of them. So that gives me 150 minus 12 times 6, which is 72, and therefore that is 78. And that's equivalent to the area, total area of the walkways. So number 3, the answer is B. Maya is helping her mom pick up 30 toys that are strewn on the floor. Maya's mom manages to put 3 toys into the toy box after every 30 seconds, but each time immediately after those 30 seconds have elapsed, Maya takes 2 toys out of the box. How much time in minutes will it take Maya and her mom to put all 30 toys into the box for the first time? Well, every 30 seconds, it looks like the mom puts 3, and then the child immediately after takes out 2. So we really only accomplished one toy going into the box. So the first, 13 times this happens, or 13 minutes is what I meant to say, we have basically 26 30-second periods, right? And each of those 30-second periods accomplishes 1 toy going into the box. Okay, so that means 26 toys have gone into the box. Now let's be careful about what we do next. The next 30 seconds, again, another 1 toy goes into the box, so now we're up to 27 toys. And our cumulative time is 13.5 minutes. But then, the very next 30 seconds, the mother puts 3 toys in the box, it's up to 30, and that's it. After that, Maya takes out 2. But we don't care, because we've already reached 30. Question's a little tricky, and quite frankly, I think it's a bit ambiguous, or whatever word you want to use, a bit controversial, but whatever, right? Who cares? Therefore, number 4, the answer is 14 minutes, and that is choice B. The sum of two non-zero real numbers is 4 times their product. What is the sum of the reciprocals of the two numbers? So according to the question, if the two numbers are a and b, a plus b is 4 times a times b. Okay, now they're saying what is the sum of the reciprocals? So what is 1 over a plus 1 over b? All right, let's get a common denominator. And when we do, we get b plus a over a plus a times b. Well, b plus a is the same as 4ab, so put that in there. And that's over ab. And the ab's cancel to give you just 4. So number 5, the answer is C. Mrs. Carroll promised that anyone who got all the multiple choice questions right on the upcoming exam would receive an A on the exam. Which one of these statements necessarily follows logically? This is one of those questions where basically what they've told you in the question stem is equal to the contrapositive. And if you read through the answer choices, the contrapositive in this case is B. So if Lewis did not receive an A, that means he got at least one of the multiple choice questions wrong. Because if he had received an A, that would have meant that he got all of the multiple choice questions right. So if he gets at least one wrong, he does not receive an A. So number 6, the answer is B. Jerry and Sylvia wanted to go from the southwest corner of a square field to the northeast corner. Jerry walked due east and then due north to reach his goal. But Sylvia headed northeast and reached the goal walking in a straight line. Which of the following is closest to how much shorter Sylvia's trip was compared to Jerry's trip? Well, it's a square, and we are originally starting here. And Jerry goes east, and then he goes north. So if this is x and this is x, his travel is 2x for Jerry. Sylvia, on the other hand, she goes directly northeast. So Sylvia is basically going straight across, and we'll call that y. All right, so we have to figure out how much shorter Sylvia's trip is compared to Jerry. So obviously we have to get some sort of a numerical value. Well, using Pythagoras, x squared plus x squared is equal to y squared. So that means 2x squared is equal to y squared. Taking the square root, root 2x is equal to y. And we therefore have a relationship. So that means that y is root 2x. So now we have to compare 2x to root 2x. And we can just put in a value, say x is equal to 1. And when we do, this becomes 2, and this becomes root 2. So root 2 is approximately 1.4. So Sylvia, if you compare 1.4 to 2, it's 30% less, right? Because 1.4 divided by 2 is 0.7. So it was decreased by 30% since this is 70%. So number 7, the answer is A. At a gathering of 30 people, there are 20 people who all know each other and 10 people who know no one. People who know each other hug, and people who do not know each other shake hands. How many handshakes occur in total? Well, the 20 people who know each other, they will shake hands with the 10 people who know nobody. So that's 200 handshakes. And then the 10 people who know nobody, they have to shake hands with everyone except themselves. So out of the 30 people, they will shake hands with 29 of those people since they don't know anybody. So that's 290. And therefore this is 490 handshakes. But each handshake involves 2 people. So this double counts. So we have to take that 490 and divide by 2 to get 245 unique handshakes. Number 8, therefore the answer is B. Many rides on a flat road at 20, downhill at 30, and uphill at 5 kilometers per hour. Penny rides on a flat road at 30, downhill at 40, and uphill at 10. Minnie goes from town A to B at a distance of 10, all uphill, then from B to C, distance 15 downhill, then back down to town A at a distance of 20 on the flat. Peggy goes the other way around using the same route. How many more minutes does it take Minnie to complete the 45-kilometer ride than it takes Penny? All right, so Minnie, her story is she's 20 kilometers per hour on the flat, 30 on the downhill, and 5 on the uphill. And then Penny, hers is his 30 on the flat, 40 on the downhill, and 10 on the uphill. So this route, A to B to C to A, is 10 on the uphill, 15 on the downhill, and 20 on the flat. And these are distances. These are speeds here. These are distances. Now, Penny is going in the opposite direction, so it's going to be A to C 20, but this time on the flat, of course. But then once they go from C to B, it's 15, not downhill, but uphill, because he's going in the reverse. And then back to A, it'll be 10, but this time not uphill, but downhill. So now we have to figure out the time. And we use that formula, time is equal to distance over speed. So the time will be distance over speed. So 10 over 5 plus 15 over 30 plus 20 over 20. And that is 2 plus a half plus 1, which is 3.5. And that's obviously in hours. And then we do the same thing for Penny, and that's going to be 10 over 40 plus 15 over 10 plus 20 over 30. And that is 0.25 plus 1.5 plus 0.6 repeat, and that is 2.41 approximately. So we've got this 3.5 and this 2.41. So the difference will be what we are looking for, and that this difference is 1.08 approximately. And that's in hours, so if you multiply by 60, you get approximately 60 minutes. And that is the answer to number 9. Joy has 30 thin rods, one of each of every integer length from 1 to 30. She places the rods with lengths 3, 7, and 15 on the table. She then wants to choose a fourth rod that she can put with these 3 to form a quadrilateral with positive area. How many of the remaining rods can she choose as the fourth rod? Well, let's draw a diagram first. Let's say we have the 3, we have the 5, and then we have the 15, like this. So when we extend it, I'll just label this 3, 5, it's 3, 7, and 15. And then the fourth side I'll call X. Basically, from triangle inequality, or in this case a quadrilateral inequality, we know that 3 plus 7 plus 15 has to be greater than X. That's the only way that you can form a quadrilateral in this case, or any case. So that means that if you add this up, 25 must be greater than X. X is less than 25. All right, but also the same thing holds true. 7 plus 15 plus X has to be greater than 3. So this gives me that 22 plus X is greater than 3. So x is greater than negative 19. Okay, that doesn't really help us much, but whatever. Let's just keep going. 15 plus x plus 3, that's got to be greater than 7. That means that x has got to be greater than 7 minus 18, so negative 11. Okay, again, that doesn't help us much. But the next one would be x plus 3 plus 7 has to be greater than 15. And that tells me that x has got to be greater than 5. Okay, that gives me a nice boundary. So x has got to be less than 25, but greater than 5. So x can be 24, 23, ... all the way to 6. So how many integers is this? 24 minus 5, 19 integers. And 19 is one of the answer choices. But this is a tricky question because of these, we cannot use the number 15 because 15 has already been used. And we also cannot use 7 because 7's already been used. So we have to subtract those two. We don't need to subtract 3 because 3 is not part of this range. So we only have to subtract 2. And when you take 19 and subtract 2, you get 17. And that is the answer to number 10. Choice B.